Welcome everyone, this is Joe Love again and I'm pleased to be teaching today's class of Pranayama, the ancient practice of conscious breathing. Pranayama is foundational to an Ayurvedic lifestyle and a very important part of the 6 pillars of health. So the term breathwork will be used to describe the different breathing techniques. In today's class you will learn the practice of Pranayama, including what it is, the scientific benefits, and how it can even reverse the stress response, as well as 3 different breathing practices that you can incorporate into your daily life. But let's first start with the magic question. What is pranayama? Pranayama is the practice of consciously using your breath to enhance our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. And as I've mentioned before, it's also a very important support pillar to the 6 pillars, such as the meditation pillar, the mindful movement pillar, etc. The word pranayama comes from 2 Sanskrit terms, prana and ayama. Prana means the vital life force that flows through our body and animates all living beings. It is the cosmic intelligence within every cell, tissue, and organ. The word ayama means to extend or draw out. So in pranayama, we use our breath to extend or expand our life force energy and improve the communication between all parts of our mind-body system. The basic principle of pranayama is to balance the branches of the autonomic nervous system, as well as increase our digestive system, or in Sanskrit known as Agni. Going back into history, the Vedic sages discovered thousands of years ago already that the mind, the body, and the breath are inextricably connected. Our breathing is affected by our thoughts, and so our thoughts are influenced by our breath. And to give you an example, when our mind is caught up in fearful thoughts, our sympathetic nervous system triggers our stress response. Our breathing speeds up and becomes shallow, and our body creates a surge of stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline, which then increases our blood pressure and even our heart rate. On the other hand, when our mind is calm, our breathing is deep and rhythmic, and our body engages in its natural self-repair and self-healing mechanisms. And in this state, our parasympathetic nervous system, or the rest and digest system, is more dominant. So while it may be difficult to control our thoughts during the day, we can control our breath, right? By consciously taking slower, deeper breaths, we can activate this parasympathetic nervous system, which reverses the stress response, allowing the body to relax and restore its memory of wholeness. Now, there's a variety of pranayama or conscious breathing techniques that have specific effects on the mind-body physiology, and some techniques are more advanced and may have more medical considerations. Other pranayama practices are relaxing and calming, while others are more invigorating and cleansing. But for today, you will be learning about pranayama techniques that have a relaxing effect on the body and mind. So you'll be learning about coherence breathing, nadi shodhana, as well as ujjayi. And even though some of the more advanced techniques come with contraindications, I've selected only the techniques that are safe and beneficial for all dosha types without medical concerns. So whenever you use these pranayama techniques before you meditate, they will help you even have a deeper experience. But you are also welcome to use them at any time you want to invite a sense of peace and relaxation into your daily life. Let's dive a little bit deeper into the benefits of pranayama. Researchers have documented the benefits of regular practice of slow rhythmic breathing, and they include improved cognitive functions, increased mindful awareness, reduced anxiety and depression, lowered or stabilized blood pressure, increased energy levels, muscle relaxation, decreased feelings of stress and overwhelm. In the medical community, there is a growing appreciation for the positive impact that breathing fully can have on the physiology, both in the body and in the mind. And according to the research done, many of these deep breathing benefits can be attributed to reducing the stress response in the body and activating the parasympathetic or the relaxation response, which I've mentioned earlier. So in addition to all of these physical benefits, pranayama also brings about mental and emotional benefits, as breathing fully can help calm and slow down the emotional turbulence of the mind. In fact, there are studies that show breathwork can help treat depression, anxiety, PTSD by reducing activity in the stress parts of the brain and increasing activity in parts of the brain that regulates our emotions. So if you practice every day for just a few minutes, you will basically reprogram your nervous system and experience both immediate and long-term benefits. And studies have shown and recommend that you should practice for at least 10 minutes each day, be it 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening. So how does pranayama reduce stress? Pranayama works as a tool to reverse the stress response. For instance, when you experience stressful thoughts, your body triggers this stress response or the fight-flight response, giving you a burst of energy to respond to this perceived danger. And let me explain the sympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic branch of the nervous system is what moves the body towards activity, and it activates this stress response. Your breathing becomes shallow and rapid, and you primarily breathe from your chest and not your lower lungs. This can make you feel short of breath, which is a common symptom when you feel anxious or frustrated. And at the same time, your body produces a surge of hormones such as cortisol and ephedrine, also known as adrenaline, which then increases your blood pressure and your pulse rate. And this ultimately puts you in a revved up state of high alert. It can be great and helpful during times of an actual threat, but this can be harmful if left chronically in this state. So to explain the parasympathetic nervous system, it's the opposite of the sympathetic nervous system, and the parasympathetic branch helps you to feel calm, centered, and grounded. And in doing so, it reverses the stress response. So pranayama is a practice that activates this parasympathetic nervous system. So when you breathe deeply and slowly, it enables you to downshift from this dominant sympathetic system to the parasympathetic system, which is the rest and digest system. And as well as reversing the physical stress response in the body, deep breathing can have an immediate effect on diffusing any emotional energy so that there is less reactivity to our emotions. Now, there are a few health conditions of the heart, lungs, where hyperexpansion of the chest is not recommended. And if you have a condition like this, you can perform these exercises gently without overexpanding the lungs, but just using a natural, normal breath. For example, you can still do the coherent breathing, Nadi Shodhana and Ujjayi, without overexpanding your lungs. These techniques are not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. So I do suggest that you always seek the advice of a physician or another qualified health provider with any questions regarding your specific medical condition. Let's dive into the 3 pranayama techniques. The first is known as coherence breathing. Coherence breathing is a very simple breathing technique in which the length of your inhalations and exhalations will follow a set ratio. For instance, when you take in an inhalation to the count of 4, you will also exhale to the count of 4, and you will continue this for a couple of rounds. The second pranayama breathing technique is known as Nadi Shodhana in Sanskrit. Nadi means channel of circulation, and Shodhana means cleansing. So this is a technique to purify the channels through which the energy and information flows, ensuring the free circulation of prana throughout the whole body. It's very relaxing, and it's an alternate nostril breathing technique that helps balance both sides of the body, and it removes blockages in the body, which in return creates a calm and peaceful mind. Nadi Shodhana also benefits all the dosha types, but it's particularly good for Vata and Kapha types, because for Vata it keeps them grounded with their very airy Vata energy. For Pitta it calms the thinking mind, which I would know because I'm a Pitta, and for Kapha it creates movement through any clogged energy channels of the body. And lastly, our third pranayama technique is known as Ujjayi. Ujjayi means to be victorious or to gain mastery. This gentle rhythmic breathing produces a pleasant soothing sound similar to the sound of the ocean waves rolling in and out. It is a breathing technique that can both focus and soothe the mind as well as energize the body and the nervous system. But a demonstration of this will be given in the next class. Ujjayi also benefits all of the dosha types. So while I'm hopeful that you've learned a lot, you must know that you have to practice these techniques to receive the full benefits. And to receive the full benefits of Ujjayi Pranayama, practice for 5 to 10 full rounds each day, consciously and mindfully, or even before each meditation, or any time you want it to soothe your body and mind. And to wrap up today's session, I would like to just summarize. Whenever you experience stressful thoughts, use coherence breathing to reverse the stress response. You will calm the mind and body immediately and also receive long-term benefits. So for a stressful mind, coherence breathing is used. Practice Ujjayi breathing when you are feeling frustrated, angry or irritated, and as this will immediately soothe and settle your mind. And then practice Nadi Shodhana for anxiety. So whenever you are feeling anxious or ungrounded, practice Nadi Shodhana, as this will immediately help you feel calmer. I thank you so much once again for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class, where I will demonstrate these breathing techniques to you. So if you have any questions before then, please feel free to type them in the comments below. For now, happy breathing. Namaste.